Welcome to Flow Tricks, it's Ken. I thought I'd give you a nice little combo. We'll talk about a little bit of variations with this combo, as well as cool things that you can do from it. So I'm going to consider this to be an intermediate. You're going to have to know a couple things like chain unwinders and whatnot. You can start off, this starts more basic and it gets more complex as the combo goes on. So let's just go ahead and do the first one. The idea is that you just do as much as you can and then you work on the stuff you can. So what we're doing, right now I'm holding in my left hand. You can do it in your left or your right hand. My left hand tends to be better at this. I tend to train my left hand a little bit with different moves than my right. So this is one particular move that I'm better with my left. So what we're doing is a circular spin where it's going clockwise or downwards towards the chest. We're doing number 3 bounce. And basically number 3 bounce is basically we just shift our elbow out and allow this to bounce across the bottom of our tricep like this. So that's step 1, boom. Step 2 is once we do the bounce, you're gonna notice that my hands are held kind of high. I'm gonna stick out 3 fingers like this, and this rope is gonna wrap around all 3 fingers. So you're gonna need a fairly long, not a long chuck, but a standard length chuck. If it's shorter than normal, you won't be able to do this move. So bounce, hold out 3 fingers, let it wrap, and as the moment it wraps, you catch it. So that's step 2. So 1, 2, like this. Step 3 is, what you're gonna notice is because I held out my 3 fingers, my pinky finger is isolated from this. And this allows me to do a chain unwinder, meaning if I pinch my fingers together like this, I can now wrap this around the top of my pinky finger like this to basically get it into a chain unwinder. So we're gonna go bounce, wrap it around 3 fingers here, and then I'm just gonna unwrap it and let it go the other way. So from here, it's going the opposite direction, and this allows me to get ready for the chain unwinder for here. For here, I'm gonna basically twist. I'm gonna like lift up my elbow for a second. I'm gonna pull it down and I'm gonna twist both hands out. Or I'm gonna twist my wrist upwards as my elbow goes downwards. And that's gonna start the chain unwinder. So you do have to know how to do a chain unwinder from there. So once we're here, we're gonna twist outward. And as it's twisting, you're gonna notice this is not a perfect chain unwinder technique. Like this is not how we usually get into it because we're coming in from the outside. So as it twists around, we're gonna wait until our hand is completely on the other side and then we can grab it. From there we have the full chain unwinder, and you can even slip your pinky finger under, and then you have the full chain unwinder from there. In a faster motion to go here, you wrap it, you get that twist around the pinky finger, and as it shoots over, I readjust my hands to get it into, well, you know this part of the chain unwinder, this is where everything's still left, and then the hand opens when it's moving to the right, closes, open, closes, open. So now we're back in the chain unwinder. Nice and perfect. So there's a little bit of an adjustment from here just because you're on the outside, so you gotta get that pinky finger back to the inside to get to the chain unwinder. From there's a couple of options you can do. One of them, I always like to kind of wrap it when it's going to the right, wrap it really hard, lift up the elbow like so, and then lift up my hand and you can take it straight into a throw. This one you have to wait a little bit, you gotta be a little bit patient. So you get here, wrap it to the right, make sure everything's just about ready to redirect, then really crank it, and then as you crank it, lift your hand up. Pop your hand up until your thumb is almost facing up, and then just lift your hand from there. So, boom, 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 whoosh, and voila. Of course, you do have to know how to do that throw, but this is a great little combo. Another thing you can do, I'm not as good with this one, but this is still an option, is when you're doing your chain unwinder like so, you can basically do a thumb roll into another chain unwinder. So let me just go ahead and demonstrate, sorry. I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. So what this basically is a thumb roll where actually we're doing a chain unwinder into a thumb roll, which can be a little bit tricky, but what you can see here is when the chuck is going towards your chest, so when it's going downward towards your chest, so on my left hand it's gonna be going clockwise. As you unwind it and go the other way, usually what's going to happen with that chain unwinder, let me just make sure I got this right. Usually what happens is you're closing your fist like so to keep it nice and tight. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to stick our thumb out just a little bit more. So when our hand is over here, as it begins to unwind, we're actually going to twist our hand backwards and let this wrap around the thumb like so. So then it becomes a thumb roll. Depending on how you catch it will either depend on if you catch the thumb roll and it completes the cycle or if it continues to do it. What I mean to say is sometimes if you catch it, you can see that I went right back into the chain unwinder. That's just because I caught it a little bit early. I caught it back in the rope. If you catch it in the rope, you can pinch your fingers together and continue the chain unwinder. But if you let it fully do its cycle, then it'll go all the way down to the chuck, and you can grab it, and then you have your full one. So that's a nice little combo. I really dig this combo. I think it's fun. There's a lot of cool little variations you can do from there. from the throws to the little thumb rolls, which I'm still working on, to all different kinds of things. A couple other things you can do with chain unwinders. One is just basically when you're wrapping it the other way like this, you can always just reach under and grab it. That's going to be a little bit more basic, a little bit easier, but it's also a way to keep it going. You can go straight into rotor passes from there. So you're doing your chain unwinder, reach down and grab it. You know, you can do your rotor pass throw. Again, this is just, once you get to this chain unwinder, there's all kinds of really cool options that you can do, from grabbing it underneath, to rolling on your thumb, to giving it a throw, and all other kinds of things. Hope you enjoy this. I just wanted to get a video out to y'all, so I haven't talked to you in a little bit, and want to get some new tricks. Let me tell y'all, sometimes it's hard, man. Like I said, 10 years of teaching this, and it's like, what tricks do people want to learn now? But I think this is a good one. So leave a comment, like, subscribe, and talk to y'all soon. Let me know how it goes.